Thou knows this place?
It's the regional garrison at Thule, or it was. It lies in ruins. Was there a war? No. These stones fell centuries ago.
Thou hast been dead a long time, mortal.
Then what has become of my mother's empire? Were we victorious? Has the Gerulian god empress fallen?
More!
Perched atop an ancient stone plateau, amidst the red sands of the Outlands, lies the city of Thole. Centuries ago, it was a major garrison for the Gerulian Empire, and there may even have been a settlement prior to this era. These days, Thole is a city of thieves and outcasts. Fugitives of all kinds come here to avoid complications in neighboring nations. Not everyone in Thole has a price upon his head, but no one who dwells here is innocent. The Guild of Steel like to call themselves mercenaries, protecting the few caravans that ply their trade across the desert. Yet those that do not pay for their protection find the Guild equally adept at brigandage. The Guild of Silk call themselves merchants and do indeed sell all manner of goods and trinkets, though it is best not to ask them from whence they came. A vast stone gate is all that remains of the Barbican that once defended these walls. Now, it guards the city of Thole once more from the horde of nomads that besiege it. For 3 years, I have been hiding here amid the detritus of the heretic kingdoms. But it is only a matter of time before my former allies locate me. And I am running out of places to hide.
I should be the one to talk for us here. I demand an immediate audience with the Imperator of Thole.
Imperator? No one has held that title for 300 years.
Then you are in charge of Thole?
I am Duke Darmok Cadasta, Intendant of Thole.
On whose authority do you rule?
I am a vassal of Baron Tar Avenger. And you are?
You may call me Evia. I am visiting Thole incognito to pursue a personal matter, so I would appreciate your discretion.
If this is about vengeance, I ask you that you keep your dueling from the streets. It is bad enough that we are besieged without duels breaking out.
Thole is under siege.
Indeed, a horde of nomads under the command of an exiled Taimurian berserker.
Thole's defenses have protected it from assault for centuries.
Aye, and the city shall not fall under my watch. Welcome to Thole, Evia. I will keep my eye on you. Te Ma Al-Ortas.
300 years.
You seem lost. Maybe you should go talk to Arshad at the Guild of Silk. I don't have time to chat, but I bet Arashad does.
This looks like the Arcanum. I wonder who has a key.
These are dangerous times for one without sufficient protection. Come, sample my fight.
Surely, my friend, there...
Weapons are
Your goods are evidently quite poor. How exactly are they?
nothing better without leaving Thorn.
Indeed, but not much of one. How is the siege affecting the people of Thol?
Many fled before it began, but my guild and the Guild of Steel are rather stuck here. It's not exactly a ghost town, but it's eerie seeing the old hostel abandoned. No one's been inside since, well, since I don't know when. Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent.
Do you know anything of use, merchant?
Tell you what, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I need to collect the weekly tariffs from Wani and Rabbi Thanteset, only they're never keen to pay up. Someone like you could compel their compliance rather well, don't you think? If you get the money, I'll tell you something useful. You came back? Wonderful! Always a pleasure.
I'm here to collect the tariff for Morphew.
No need. I've already paid him.
I have little patience for liars, merchant.
Well, you can't blame me for trying. Here, take it. Your customers are always welcome.
I'm here to collect the tariff.
Oh, is it time for that already? Very well, here you go.
Much obliged, merchant.
Take care, friend.
I am here for the tariff.
Ah, I had wondered about that. Please, give Morphew my regards.
How surprisingly compliant.
Stay safe, traveler. You came back? Wonderful!
Your money, merchant.
You have my gratitude. So much easier than trying to negotiate with those jackals myself. You wanted information. I can tell you this. If you want to get into the Guild of Steel, Arashad can get you into the cellar. But beware, as the guild has some vicious traps down there. Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent price. Always a pleasure.
A letter. skeleton of an Ishkai and a human. What transpired, I wonder? A letter. The skeleton of an Ishkai and a human. What transpired, I wonder?
You came back? Wonderful!
There's an Ishkai and a human skeleton in the hostel. What do you know of this?
This is the first I've heard of this. The other merchants had more to do with the hostel than I did, though. Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent prices, superb always a pleasure.
Bring your unwanted goods.
Can you tell me the story behind the skeletons in the old hostel?
There are dead bodies in that place. Honestly, you'd think someone from the guild would have noticed. I suppose the building has been abandoned for a while now. Haven't seen anyone go inside since the siege started. Bring your unwanted goods to me. I'll give you a fair price. Your custom is always welcome. Ah, what do you have? Think of me when you have goods you do not need. Always good to see you, friend.
Can you tell me the story behind the skeletons in the old hostel?
No idea what happened at the hostel. I used to deliver food there, back before the siege. But I haven't been inside since that Sura warrior went there. I don't think anyone has. Always good to see you, friend.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
He came through the gates, went to the hostel, and left. That's all I know, really. Oh, I was just glad to see him leave town, to be honest. Always good to see you, friend. Be safe.
Back so soon. Good, good.
Can you tell me the story behind the skeletons in the old hostel?
I can only tell you about the hostel itself, I'm afraid. Mercenaries from out of town would stay there when working for the Guild of Steel. I think Rabath had a deal with the owner at one point. He might know more. Welcome, welcome.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
I wasn't even in town when it happened. You'll have to ask elsewhere. Back so soon. Good, good. You are always welcome here.
My weapons are...
Can you tell me the story behind the skeletons in the old hostel?
I don't know anything about that. Ask Rabat. He dealt with the owner. No one beats me on...
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Are you certain you don't know anything at all?
I said I don't know anything. Now, if you aren't buying anything, be on your way. Best weapons in the... May all your endeavors be fruitful.
Bring your unwanted goods to me.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
I remember seeing the Sura mercenary talking to Feyruz before he left. And Feyruz looked mighty pleased about it too. Please, if you speak to Feyruz, don't mention I said anything. I want nothing to do with the Sura, now or ever. Bring your unwanted goods to me.
What do you know about Feyruz making deals with the Sura?
Other than seeing him talk to that one Sura mercenary that one time, I've no idea. Bring your unwanted goods to me. Your customers are always welcome. Always good to see you, friend.
What do you know about Feyruz making deals with the Sura?
No doubt about it. That Sura definitely gave something to Feyruz before leaving town. But if he asks, you didn't hear that from me. Always good to see you, friend. Be safe.
Back so soon. Good.
What do you know about Feyruz making deals with the Sura?
I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm afraid I've no idea what happened that day. Welcome. Stay safe, traveler.
Helms, mail, races.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
Can't tell you anything about the Sura, I'm afraid. I never get too close to them. When you've been a merchant for as long as I have, you learn when to keep your distance from their kind. Helms, mail, race.
What do you know about Feyruz making deals with the Sura?
I don't really know what Feyruz gets up to, but he sure had a lot of silver on him that day the Sura was in town. You don't think... No, forget I asked. I don't want to know. Helms,
Mail. Braces. May you prevail in all your battles, my friend.
No one beats me on price.
You can either tell me what your deal with the Sura was, or you can experience the power of a mage firsthand.
Don't hurt me. I just arranged the messenger, I swear. Kench, the woman who ran the hostel, she asked me to get a message to the one-eyed Sura warrior. He paid me in silver for informing him. But I was only doing what Kench asked of me. You have my word. Best weapons in the Outlands are right here on my
What was Kench doing dealing with the Sura?
She sold him out. The Ishkai who was living there betrayed him to save her own neck. You wouldn't know to look at her, but Kench brokered contracts for mercenaries all around the heretic kingdoms. Before she came to Thol, she hired the one-eyed Sura, but the job went sour. Her employer was slain, and the Sura was never paid. If there's one thing you don't do in the mercenary business, it's welsh on a debt to a Sura warrior. I guess she saw handing over the Ishkai as a way to wipe out her debts. No one beats me on price, friend. Come back when you need more armaments.
Usha, come out from whence thee hides. Thou hast misplaced thy trust in thy friend, Kench. She betrayed thee. Yet another letter. So, she didst not betray thee, and thou hast guarded her fallen remains since thy deaths. How touching. Come, spirit. Thy vigil has ended. Join me. That soul is mine now. A step closer to my final form.
An Ishkai sniper will make an excellent ally.
And thankfully, a silent one.
If we don't get relief soon, I may be forced into prostitution.
Are you the Silk Master?
I am the head of the Guild of Silk, milady.
Guild of Silk? When were the merchants allowed to form guilds?
Milady, who in the city is going to stop us?
Forgive me. Thole is not as I remember it.
Really? It's the same old crap hole it's ever been. My name is Arashad. How should I address you, milady?
Call me Evia.
Please, ask your questions.
What can you tell me about the Garulian Empire?
Why do you want to know?
It's a personal matter. When did the Empire fall?
Oh, some 3 centuries ago? I don't know much about it. Something about the sword and the theocrat. The start of a terrible era for some lands, I understand. I only really know the history of Thole, I'm afraid. How can I help?
What survives from the Empire in Thole?
Precious little, milady. This once mighty settlement is reduced to ruins. The Tholian catacombs were once a very popular burial site for Garulian nobles, I'm told. But without one of the catacomb keys, it would be hard to explore too far. However, I've read that there might be an imperial tomb somewhere in the chambers to the west. If this part of history interests you, you should certainly search around the burial grounds. That place is crawling with aphotic spiders, though, so be careful, my lady. You have questions?
Might I render you aid in return for something?
Milady, it would be my honor to have your assistance in a number of problematic situations. I've lost a few merchants to aphotic spider attacks at night. Nasty creatures. And recently hiding in every shadow, it seems. There's also a more, delicate matter. One involving, shall we say, a reappropriation of assets. Please, ask your questions.
I can take care of the aphotic spiders for you.
I would be most grateful, milady. Bring me the carcasses of 10 spiders, and I'll pay you 5 apiece. Search inside the burial grounds, southwest of the market. They seem to be infesting there in great numbers. How can I help?
How fares the Guild of Silk?
Alas, 'tis a bad time to be a Tholian merchant. The city is surrounded by a horde of nomads, intent on sacking it. Terrible things lurk in the shadows of the catacombs. On the other hand, Guild of Silk profits are up this quarter. Nothing like a siege to drive up the price of food, huh? What do you need?
How long will the supplies last?
Hard to say, really. Possibly a year? If a sandstorm forces the nomads to retreat, even longer. Not to mention that the Intendant is an excellent gate weaver. He may have means to help us beyond even this. It's an inconvenience, but there are bigger dangers within the walls than without. You have questions?
What can you tell me about the Intendant?
Very little, milady. He overthrew my father as Intendant. I had no love for my father, but he was bloodkin, you know? I do not trust the Duke, and not just because he's in the Order of the Veil. Everyone knows the Order is just a thin veneer of respectability the Inquisition uses to cloak its institutional corruption. Thole would be better off without him. What do you need?
What do you need stolen and why?
When he defeated my father and became Intendant, Darmok also took something. A sword, a family heirloom, you might say. It was given to my father by my grandfather, and to him by his father before him. Darmok gave it to the mercenaries as a gift, to secure his alliance with them. But the sword is mine by right of birth, and I want it back. Take this key. It will open the cellar to the Guild of Steel. The sword will be down there somewhere, I'm certain. Far too valuable as a bargaining chip for anyone to be wielding it. Find the sword and bring it back to me. I will pay you 200 in return. You will know it by the engraved pattern of 2 entwined serpents on the hilt and blade. Please, ask your questions.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
This is really none of my business. Please, leave me out of this. You have questions?
Did you know someone named Kench?
She used to run the hostel, didn't she? Honestly, outside the Guild of Silk, my knowledge of the people of Thole gets a little sketchy. You have questions?
There is too much to be done for us to merely stand around. how did you come to be like this, little Ishkai?
Please, if they see you talk to Shakik, please go.
I lack the patience for this idleness. Some maddening force causes me to tarry. The hunger grows with each passing moment. Thou shalt face me now!
There is too much to be done for us to merely stand around. What others have begun, Evia shall finish. loaded like the cellar door. Have to try upstairs. If you wish death, I will grant your request.
How can I help?
I believe this is your father's sword.
Can it be? You have no idea what this means to me. Please. You must accept this purse of coins with my thanks.
You will pay me 500 to get this back, I am certain.
I must have it. Here, take your money and give it to me. How can I help?
Great power always comes from within.